When you have a lot of debt, you have less freedom. When you have a lot of debt, you have less choices. Just ask the person who's 60 years old and wants to retire, but still have 2 car payments, student loans, and credit cards. They can't afford to retire because they have so much debt. Guys, on this video, I just want to give you 8 simple steps to wealth and financial freedom. Now, I don't want to just assume that this stuff is easy and anybody can do it. No, it's tough. It takes some discipline and some hard work, some dedication, some focus, but it's doable, right? It doesn't take anything special to build wealth. It doesn't take anything overly special to reach financial freedom. It's just strategy and a real life plan that you follow. So let's jump into it. The first simple step to help you build wealth and reach your financial freedom and build sort of a good, strong foundation is setting clear goals that are written, that are specific, and underneath each written specific goal, you got to have some action steps, some things that you're actually going to do to try to reach the goal on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So you want to have a goal for getting higher paying skills. Maybe you want to have a goal for increasing your financial literacy. And you also want to have some of the other 7 things on this video that I mentioned as part of your goals that are specific. That means your goal has a specific target at a specific time. So there's a specific money amount and a specific time when you want to reach that goal or whatever it may be. But it's got to be specific. You'll be surprised at how it helps you improve the possibility of reaching that goal if you just make the goal specific and measurable and actually have some action steps to go along with it. And it's going to help you improve your daily habits and your discipline when you have something specific that you're shooting for, something specific that you're actually trying to reach, and it's going to hold you accountable and help you make decisions along this whole journey. Now, the second simple step to building wealth and reaching your financial freedom, the next level up, is you got to start doing a net worth statement at least once a quarter throughout the course of every single year. That means take stock of what your assets are and what your liabilities are, subtract the liabilities from the assets, and come up with a net worth at least 4 times a year. Put it on a spreadsheet. Develop and create your own spreadsheet. Remember, when you're doing net worth, you're just taking assets on one side of the paper, liabilities on the other side, and then you're coming up with some type of difference. And hopefully the difference is a positive net worth and not a negative net worth. But I guarantee you this, guys, if you focus on your net worth, increasing your assets and lowering your liabilities, you're going to ultimately see that your assets are going to start coming up and your debt or liabilities are going to start coming down because you're focused on it. You're putting energy towards it at least 4 times a year, every quarter. That's your scorecard. That's how you can measure if you're really building wealth and reaching financial freedom. Now, the third step, the next step up to build this strong, solid foundation, build some wealth and reach your financial freedom is you got to check with your human resources at your job. See if they offer a match to your 401k. If they offer a match, make sure you get the match because that's kind of like free money on the table, guys. You want to go ahead and take advantage of that. Now, if they don't offer a match at your job in your 403b or your 401k, then you need to still invest 3 to 5% of your gross income in some type of appreciating asset that's going up in value. I suggest index funds or ETFs. And you just simply open up a brokerage account on Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Robinhood, E-Trade. I don't care where you open it, but open up a brokerage account and start investing a tiny percentage of your money. That's if there's no match at your job. And I don't care where you are in terms of your debt, in terms of where you are in terms of your personal finances right now. You can open up a brokerage account and start investing with $5 or $10 or $15. But I want you to get in the habit of the discipline and the learning of being able to invest. And I want you to also take advantage of compound interest all the while you're following these steps to wealth and reaching your financial freedom. Now, for some of you, these 8 steps may take 3 months. It may take a month. It may take a year or 2 years for some of you. Depends. Everybody's at a different point. But when you get to that end point where you're in step 8 of trying to reach your financial freedom, I want you to be well-versed and understand the investing world. And that's why I say, if they don't offer you a match, still invest a small, tiny percentage of your money while you're building your wealth and while you're reaching your financial freedom. Guys, if you're getting anything out of this video, do me a favor, please share this video with your friends, your family, and your network of people. And if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, the fourth step is to do a unique zero-based monthly budget. Do it every single month and make sure it's written either on a piece of paper, notebook paper, whatever, or on an Excel spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet, doesn't matter where. But you have to write down a budget, the tracking of your money, the tracking of your income that comes in and your expenses that go out. You got to know this because this is what's going to tell you how much money you have left over at the end of each month. How much money do you have left over to pay off debt? How much money do you have left over to do some additional investing? How much money do you have left over to be putting towards an emergency fund? You got to know this. And this is sort of your barometer, your monthly gauge of how you're managing your money. A zero-based budget, meaning all the money is spent on paper first. There's nothing left over. You've accounted for it all. You told your money what to do. You said, $100 go here, $200 go there, $500 go there, $25 go there. You're telling your money what to do. This is about getting control of your money, control of your spending, right? Understanding and being disciplined is what a budget really teaches you. And if you want to build wealth and you want to reach financial freedom, you have to be in control of your money. So any form of financial freedom is going to come with financial discipline. Now, the fifth thing you got to do to build your wealth and reach financial freedom as we work our way up in building this strong foundation is you got to make sure you save up at least an initial $2,000 as an emergency fund in case something goes wrong. Listen, things will go wrong. They happen all the time. You just got to be ready. You want to be ready so you don't end up at the payday loan place down the street in the strip mall trying to get a loan at 30% interest. You want to make sure you have some money, even if it's just a couple of $1,000s, set aside in a high yield savings account or at your local bank down the street. Now, I prefer a high yield savings account because that's going to give you a little bit of return on your money because they'll pay you a better interest, right? But still, it doesn't really matter. Your emergency savings account is not where we're going to build up our wealth. It's just there just in case. We're going to build up our wealth with our investments into appreciating assets, not just our initial emergency fund that we have sitting there. Here in this step, I just want you to have something for just in case something goes wrong, I can cover it. Tires go out. The stove goes out at home. Something goes out. You got to pay a crazy water bill, whatever it could be. You're ready for it and you can handle it. Usually a couple of $1,000s can take care of that for most of us. And remember, this can be a part of your goals that you figured out with the very first step because we're building this thing from the ground up. When you're trying to build wealth, you got to build it from the ground up. That means you got to have a steady, firm, solid foundation, which is what we're talking about here in order to reach your financial freedom. Now, the sixth thing you got to do is you have to attack debt. You got to get rid of debt. Debt is just going to rob you of all of the potential future growth of your money. So you got to focus on knocking out the debt on things that's going down in value, right? If you own rental houses and have a primary residence, I don't think you should necessarily focus on getting out of that debt right now. I want you to get out of the consumer debt, the student loans, the medical bills, the credit cards, those things that are not growing in value at all. You want to get rid of that debt as soon as possible. Now, this is the one that may take 3 years to do, 2 years to do, 5 years to do, right? But it's probably the most important thing because remember back earlier, we're figuring our net worth at least 4 times a year. And when you figure your net worth, half of it is your liabilities. Half of it is your debt. So we want to work on getting out of that debt as soon as possible because when you have a lot of debt, you have less freedom. When you have a lot of debt, you have less choices. Just ask the person who's 60 years old and wants to retire, but still have 2 car payments, student loans, and credit cards. They can't afford to retire because they have so much debt. You lose your freedoms when you have debt. So if you want to truly build wealth and truly reach financial freedom, you have to get out of the bad habit of carrying debt on things that's going down in value because they will eat at your net worth and leave you bound and tied up trying to work longer so you can pay off debt, trying to work longer so you can get rid of some of those student loans. You don't want that. So get rid of that as soon as possible. Now, the seventh thing you have to do when you're building wealth and trying to reach your financial freedom is now you got to build up some more emergency money. You got to build up more than just $2,000. You got to take your needs every month, multiply it by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months, take that total figure and build up your emergency fund to be that total figure. Now, I say 3 to 6 months of your needs. Some people say 3 to 6 months of your expenses. And whichever you decide to do is up to you. But you've got to save that money up just in case something goes wrong in the big picture. And you have some cash that you can pull from. Now, where you put that again is up to you. We're not necessarily building wealth with your fully funded emergency fund. All we're trying to do is make sure that if something big or something catastrophic happens, it's covered. You got it. You have the $20,000. You have the $40,000, right? Somebody loses a job or you lose your job. You have to figure out how you're going to pay your bills for 6 months. You've got the money. You're covered, right? So if you decide to put it in a high yield savings account, great. But if you decide to put it down the street where you're getting 0.001% interest, I'm okay with that too. So that leads me to number 8. The 8th thing you got to do if you're trying to build some wealth and you want to reach your financial freedom as soon as possible, you got to start doing the fun thing, which is investing your money into things that are increasing in value. Earlier, we worked on reducing the liability side of your net worth equation. Now, we want to work here in step 8. When you're close to reaching financial freedom, we want to now go ahead and invest 15 to 20% or more of our money into investments that are going up in value. The stock market, ETFs, index funds, individual stocks, bonds, whatever it could be. Also, real estate, you name it, precious metals, whatever you want to do, whatever you decide to do here in this final step where you want your money to grow and grow exponentially, right? At a point where you're taking full advantage of compound interest. Now, remember, the whole time during this whole process of building your wealth, you've been getting your jobs match, or you've been putting 3 to 5% of your money into investments that are increasing in value, like the stock market. So now when you get to this final step, now you can increase that by more and you can start really growing your wealth at this point. So if you make $80,000 a year, you may want to go ahead and put in 20% of that $80,000 into ETFs or index funds or individual stocks that you have a whole bunch of and you're diversified. You want to focus on building assets, because the lower your liabilities or debts are and the more assets you have, the more financial freedom you have. The more you can do what you want to do to grow your money, to use your money, to have fun with your money, to do whatever you want to do when you've reached this pinnacle called financial freedom. Most people want to skip over all the basics and go right to investing more money, but they haven't taken care of the strong foundation that needs to be built in terms of building your wealth. But what good is it to have a whole bunch of debt and have a whole bunch of investments? What good is it to not have any emergency fund in case something goes wrong, but you got a whole lot of investments? This is number 8 for a reason. This is the top of the pendulum, where you're at the very top and you're saying, I can enjoy my money, I can have fun with my money, I can make sure that I grow my money. That's financial freedom. That's when you've actually built your wealth up. Now, hey guys, for some of you, it's going to take you a long time. It's going to take you 4 or 5 years to get to this point. For some of you, it may take you 10 years. Now, for others of you, it may take you 1 year. It all depends. All of us are different. Personal finance is personal. These are just the basic steps to actually building up wealth. Now, all the while, make sure that you're giving and helping other people out and you're increasing your financial literacy, learning as much as you can about building wealth and investing your money and all those good things as well. Hey, if you got any value at all out of this quick video, do me a favor, smash the like button below and please share this video with someone who you know could use and benefit from this information. Hey, the best person to take care of the old you is the young you. Guys, do me a favor, take good care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.